So we're up to way number 5, on day number 5, which is AMA, otherwise known as the Power of Awe, one of my favorites. Remember a few years ago, I went with my wife Fagi on a trip to Iceland, one of the most awe-inspiring, beautiful places in the world. But perhaps the most incredible thing that we saw was while we were there, a volcano erupted. And everyone was scrambling to get a look at this volcano, which was located not that far from Reykjavik. And we were able to arrange to take a helicopter ride over the volcano. And just seeing that volcano, the lava coming out of the ground, going 50, 100 feet in the air with balls of fire 20 plus feet wide, just flying in the air, was just awe-inspiring. This was actually a photo taken from that helicopter while we were there. And I remember just feeling absolutely giddy at the moment, really, really giddy, just transcendent, out-of-body experience, just looking at it, laughing out loud at the incongruity and the majesty of the site, among many other sites that we'd seen there. My son recently went to Niagara Falls for the first time as an adult and described the willingness to just stand there awestruck and look at it for hours because of how just absolutely incredibly wondrous it is. So we feel at that moment, we feel fully alive because we're effectively touched by something significantly greater than ourselves. So what creates awe and how do we channel it? So step 1 of using awe as a way to wisdom is to capture the wow. So more often than not, when we encounter awesome events, awesome sights, it's accidental. And within moments after we see that awesome sight, we're back to our normal mundane lives. It doesn't have to be that way. We can choose to harness that awe. We can choose to recapture that awe. So the first step is to recapture, to reconnect with those experiences. I remember when I had an office in Manhattan in Midtown, and I lived in Passaic, I used to take the train and I would walk across to my office across town, passing the Empire State Building every day. And I remember many, many times that I acted like a pure tourist. I was wearing my suit and tie and my briefcase like everybody else, rushing to work. And I would just stop right at the bottom of the Empire State Building and I would crane my neck up to see the top just because it was so awesome that something like that even existed and that we could come into contact with. So when we come into contact with incredible power or perfection or amazing beauty, we're touched by something bigger than ourselves. And that moment is transcendent. We see the eternal, we see the infinite, we touch the source of creation. And our perspective changes and we feel both small, but not badly small. We just get a little bit more perspective. So if we understand what triggers awe, we don't have to wait for it to come to us. We can seek new encounters with it, and we can actually tap into the encounters and awesome encounters with it that we've had in the past. So imagine you're stuck in traffic. Instead of getting aggravated by the traffic that's around you, try and tap into one of the awesome sights and experiences that you've seen in your life. The whole world will look different. You won't feel the same sense of aggravation. Children look at the world, they see a little worm, they see some ants crawling along the floor, and to them, it's as awesome as the greatest wonder of the world. Yet, as we grow, we become a little bit numb. So let's try to recapture some of that childlike wonder next time we eat a piece of fruit and we see the seed that therein it contains an entire orchard worth of potential and capability, right? Think about the mind-blowing complexity of the human body, the sense of touch, the millions of nerve endings that we have, how our eyes work and allow us to take in the sights of the world, and so on and so forth. You don't have to travel around the world to find awe-inspiring experiences. You just have to have your eyes open to it. So 2 of this, after capturing the wow, is gaining perspective. People tend to be petty. I am guilty of this probably more than most. If we don't get appreciation, if we get put down by the day-to-day parts of life, awe is the antidote to pettiness. You cannot feel petty. You can't be bored while you're having an awesome experience. When that sight, when the glaciers come into view, right? When Niagara Falls is in front of you, when you see the Empire State Building up close, these things just do not allow for pettiness. So number two in this is to really use these to gain perspective. Number three is to recognize that among all the awesome things that God created in this world, nothing is more awesome than the human being. We have boundless potential. We have endless capability. We're fashioned in the image of God himself. So look at the incredible things that human beings have done, right? We sent hunks of steel into space. We put man on the moon, right? Every single person contains within him the power to literally change the entire world. So don't underestimate yourself. See your full potential. Work on solving humanity's problems instead of just accepting them and suffering them, or suffering with them, or waiting for someone else to deal with those challenges. Number four is recognize the ultimate source of the awe, right? The source of all these awesome things, from the human being to the greatest of the seven wonders of the world, right? What we tap into with that is recognizing the finger of the infinite. We're coming to grips with a bit of a whiff of God's eternal power and unity, perfection, that somehow lifts us out of our transient, finite world. As part of this, consider what God does for you daily. Every single moment that your eyes work, that your heart beats, that your lungs expand, that the oxygen flows through this incredible, complex system to bring nourishment to your cells, right? What your mind is able to do that, even with the advent of AI, can't be done outside of us. So think about these things, then recognize that the orchestrator, the ultimate orchestrator, is behind all of this awe that we experience. So we just have to open our eyes and tap into this incredible power that emanates from God. So some applied wisdom. One, actively relive a moment of awe. So stop during the course of a day and say, I am going to tap into how I felt when I saw that volcano, when I experienced looking down at the ants from the Empire State Building, or whatever other ideas, whatever things that you've seen in your life, the incredible power of the Niagara Falls, as a for instance. When pettiness hits you, item number 2 of applied wisdom, find a way just once to tap into the infinite, to just see something awesome that removes you from the pettiness. And then finally, ask around a table, a Shabbos table, a Yom Tov table, a table with friends, even an office table. Ask people to describe an awesome experience, an awesome sight that they've experienced in their life, that they've seen in their lives. It will be an amazing, transcendent experience for everybody and will elevate everybody around you.